Hello and welcome to UW Esports Connect. We'll do this field again. Hopefully, we are not needed this time and you all can hear us. So, we are in our first day of the UW Esports Connect tournament. This is the League of Legends Open Bracket semifinals. So, as we hop into our first game of the stream, do you want to run us through all the teams that are playing in this game that we're watching?
Well, right now in this semifinal lower bracket, well, not lower bracket, but the bracket is in the bottom half of the tournament sheet. We have Last Dance DF Fan Club. They obviously have rallied together to make a pretty solid League of Legends team, showing up in the semifinals right now. And then we also have Anime Boys 2021 showing off their otaku style, I guess. And yeah, we were experiencing some technical difficulties, as you know. Lee had a few bumps and hiccups there, but he's standing up. He's good, and I believe we should be getting into game right away pretty soon. That is one of the benefits of technical difficulties. You don't have to wait for spectator delay. So, how are we feeling about our tournament so far today?
It's been a pretty exciting day. It's a smaller bracket this time around for sure, but that doesn't always mean a bad thing. This tournament still has a ton of competition. So I guess we can just run through the rosters. I believe on the side of Last Dance DF Fan Club, we have who do we have in the top lane? Oh my gosh, we don't even have the list of rosters, so we need to get that pulled up. But I'm excited to see some good League of Legends gameplay today. We have a couple of our support staff in the background writing some stuff on the whiteboard. Yep. Thank you. So I can't even read what that says.
Yeah, we will have to invest in some more clear markers that will show up on stream a bit better. We're just working on a few little minor details right now, but yeah, we should be getting into stream or into game very shortly. We will be discussing the draft as we hop onto the Rift there. But yeah, I'm excited to see a lot of play today. We had, I believe it was Anime Boys 2021. No, it was Last Dance Fan Club, but they received a bye to get into our semifinals. And I believe, unfortunately, we have right off the bat in our spectator, we have a pause coming out from one of the teams. So whether there's connectivity issues or draft error, we'll have to find out shortly here. Obviously, communication between the players as well as all the way to broadcast here is going to be quite the rocky road. So yeah.
I do recall one of the players complaining about King Street being DDoS. So if you're living on King Street, there could be some internet connectivity issues. I feel like that might have something to do with the pause there. But as we're heading in, I don't know if we got to see some picks, but I do remember that last CSDF fan club had a mainly blue and green roster. I believe they had like a Viego, a Thresh, and a Phelios. Mm-hmm. They had a Zac and a Syndra, right? So that was pretty blue and green. And meanwhile, on the side of Anime Boys 2021, I believe they had, is that a Kennen? I'm like trying to see on our producer's screen. I see a Zoe. But yeah, we see a Zoe.
So we should be getting in here at any moment. If you catch us looking over this way, we do have, I guess, behind the scenes some you can tell where we might be able to look for more information here. But yeah, so
I think
okay, so
we're in game now.
We have gotten into game, and this does give us a bit more of a chance to talk about the Anime Boys, what roster they've conjured up here at the draft. They have Kennen, Nocturne, Zoe, Caitlyn, and
what? Sorry, I was told that I need to stop leaning back like and have proper postures. So so we're just waiting on the pause here. Oh my god, look at the chat. My baby is having some issues here. But yeah, I think.
Boy.
Do you think that we should just go into a little bit of a pause here while we wait for I believe the ADC to come back?
Can we get a double check on the Nocturne's name?
Yeah, it's just boxes right now.
We could refer to them as boxes if we'd like. And then so we have a Kennen, Nocturne, Zoe, Caitlyn, and Rakan. So interestingly, against Last Dance DF. Oh, I understand. Last Dance DF is actually a player. So mingling around with his fans, obviously a great PR stunt. A great move for. Uh, so definitely a great move for his publicity, playing around with the fans, doing some fan games, actually being in the tournament here. Believe I believe Horf has actually had to exit the room, so we do have a bit of a powerful solo cast right here. That's fine, all understandable. This is honestly not the rockiest start we've had to a community event. Or if you recall, last term, or I guess in fall 2020, when we were starting out with our broadcast, we had definitely some rougher times. So I'm glad that we have such talented crew able to work on every issue that inevitably will come along. But it does look like the pause will be over. We have waited for quite a while here, and I am just so excited to get into game. So we see that there will be, unfortunately, my screen is frozen a bit. That's fine. We're down the caster. We're down the screen. We don't need it. Just here for some fun League of Legends. So, okay, looks like we have a pretty standard 5-point start. There could be some shenanigans from Blossoms. We're back to the start of the game. My baby had left. Anytime I'm going to be saying that, I'm not referring to myself. I'm actually referring to the player. I don't mean to say that I'm baby, nor do I deny that fact, but I think either way, we can just clarify now. I'm talking about the Caitlyn player. Lethal tempo, pretty solid rune choice. You don't see many other picks on the Caitlyn. You can opt for PTA maybe, unless, well, the problem is with that is most often nowadays you're going for lethal. You see a bit of cheese from boxes, maybe walking up very close here. It does get the ball popped on him. The little kitten sphere is going to disappear, and boxes just have to leave. I might get a clarification about their name exactly, but boxes is the doctrine here right now. So other than that, a little hiccup probably. We do have a pretty standard start right now. All chat is toxic. Unfortunate. I'm sure most of you guys have heard about the removal of all chat from League of Legends, and it's obviously a mixed bag for most people. Some people say, yeah, I want to do the trash talk. Other people say, yeah, I want to be doing the trash talk, and it's pretty fun. We are finally into game here. I have word that Horif is returned. I can see it next to me. So, how do you feel about the game so far? We are a minute and 45.
Well, I'm happy to just see that the game is started and iBaby has returned from being DDoS by Last Dance CF fan club. I how the name of Last Dance CF fan club is so long that it goes out of the score box,
Yes.
like the top there. But you know, that's always something fun to look at. We have interesting comps for both sides. I think on the side of Voice 2021, they have a little bit more of like pick potential. I'm not quite sure. It's definitely a mixed comp with Nocturne being more pick and Zoe being more pick. It's definitely a team fighting along with Rakan. Those are both team fighting champions. We see Nocturne coming down for a little bit of bot lane.
But able to dash away. Little sis taking very low. But we do see the gank down here from boxes. Pops down. Oh, here comes the terrified Blossom's forced to flash. Most summoners away from Last Dance DF fan club's bot lane. The flay does come down. Both sides looking very low. I'm maybe pushing up very far. Flashes away. Minimal one single digit Surly and Little Sis will take first blood here.
Oh, that was such a close fight. I maybe brought down to like 1 HP. Yeah. Flash heals away. So Last Dance isn't able to get that last hit onto him. And Little Sis is able to pick up that first blood with that ignite, with that last auto. The feathers are definitely hurt there quite a bit. Pretty well executed gank by boxes.
Trading trouble bubbles. Through the week actually does go wide. And something interesting something to note about that bot lane while we are going into another pause here, we can see I'm maybe not having the best of times with their ping right now. But I'd like to talk a bit about the bot lane state while we have this opportunity. We obviously didn't get to go into the Champ Selector draft, but I believe Last Dance DF and Blossoms, what they're trying to go for is a push heavy, poke out yourself and win for early skirmishes type of 2v2 with Aphelios and with Thresh, especially with the fact that they didn't actually have to leash, meant they got the early level 2 and were able to zone away I'm Baby and Little Sis from any and all CS right off the bat. But with the fact that they may have overextended a bit over, just putting all of their summoners down onto Little Sis, it did open up the opportunity for boxes to gang. And from that point, we can see that I'm Baby and Little Sis will actually be able to face more even in lane right now, which is definitely not what Little Dance DF wants to go for. So we are slowly running out of pause time. But how do we feel about the Kennen versus Viego matchup? Not what I've seen quite often.
I agree. It's definitely a rougher lane for Viego. You know, as a ranged top laner, and he's just able to kind of throw things at him from farther away. Spectator mode has bugged out a little bit. Thank you, Ryan, for always giving us spectator issues. Every stream, for some reason, Riot is just like, we don't want spectator mode to work for you. It's gonna freeze. But with some complaining, they unfreeze it.
It just takes enough first world problems to figure it out. Oh, we do see double CC down here, but Elias
Laners are just sitting there.
Okay. Looking at a bit of the itemization here, Last Dance DF is able to get back to first. They obviously died, so they're going to be rushing back in there to catch the wave. Up about a wave of CS, which is pretty good considering they're right now only able to get the boots off of their back. So Baby, however, has the double longsword opting out of the door and start. But here we go. Kiriko is just going to be falling. You're not like the anime. I'm sorry. Have the heal forever. Just plot armor. This is League of Legends. So yeah, taken out pretty quickly and solid work there from Crackedon and Anime Girl.
I'm Baby getting outranged by the Aphelios. Aphelios is actually one of the few champions that outrange a Caitlyn, you know, just with like the Infernum bouncing and with his sniper rifle. It is kind of rough for Caitlyn when your entire champ is about being super range when another champ is longer range than you.
We do get a peek at the draft here, but yeah, and as you mentioned, that is sort of good to know about Caitlyn, because we just saw right there, Little Sis, he doesn't want to be in lane too much. He knows he's not going to be able to go for the engages with the Caitlyn, Aphelios, and Thresh. They're always going to win out on those. So Little Sis has decided, okay, maybe you're fine, you're Caitlyn, have your ranged poke, you shouldn't be able to be caught out to, and I'm going to go and roam and help out Elias username. So we saw that earlier. The roam wasn't too successful. It was just mostly to help catch the wave and prevent a hard crash. But we do see Little Sis roaming around again. But Crackedon might be roaming first, forced to flash. Elias username getting out safe, but great work from Crackedon, just getting rid of the summoner there.
Yeah, for sure. Zoe, without that flash, it's pretty 6. Well, I mean, she's level 5, so she's pretty close. But without the flash, definitely an easy target to get tipped out on, especially with that Thresh. Up to mid lane. I think Rakan and Thresh are both kind of looking to roam. Maybe Thresh will look to stay in the bot lane to try to catch out the Caitlyn a bit more, but I think it's definitely going to be a angle for Little Sis. Not going to be able to do much in lane, so we could definitely be looking where Little Sis does imply they are a little sister.
Oh boy, yeah, we don't have to worry too much about the implications of each name of the sum. That is something to worry about if you think about the implications. But Crackedon, the lane gank wasn't too successful spotted out there. Once again, we have another break in the action. Always unfortunate.
This time, it is actually a DC from the side of Last Dance DF fan club.
Okay.
So apparently, Anime Girl 2007 is sitting in this bush because he DC'd and his internet's not having a good time. This is a game full of pauses. Right now, as we're just looking at the state of the game, it is 1-1. First, with 1 kill onto Zach. Probably not the carry, but he does have a 2-stack Dark Seal, so you never know.
So our producer has taken this opportunity to eat his lunch. He is a hungry man. But shout out again to all of our broadcast team. We love them dearly. And yeah, so if we look at the state of the lanes right now, I don't think too much action is happening. From both sides, and all they're in very neutral states. There's neither side that has a teleport advantage. The only major objective up will be the Mountain Drake, but hopefully once the stream starts to unfreeze a bit here, we do see that Last Dance DF Fan Club has a lot more hard vision with the double pinks above the Mountain Drake. So it looks like if they're able to get enough push, once Krakadon is able to go around that bottom side, he is going up towards top right now. So Last Dance DF Fan Club is essentially saying, we know that they can't really go for Dragon without us knowing. We'll be able to stop it. Our Aphelios and Thresh as well since you're pushing. So right now we can just in a neutral lane state, just push up till mid.
Yep. There we see I'm Baby and Moses trying to push in this wave, trying to crash, probably to get a little bit of a reset for
Kirito 1 and done. Actually, with the ultimate, he may be able to flash away.
He's gone out of there. Oh my gosh.
The little ninja makes it happen. Great work with the slice. Getting the double stun there, able to flash away. But albeit, this is not a great lane state for Kirito right now. We do see a hard crash. Anime 2007 is going to be able to get a play or two. And here comes the counter map. Engage the Knight. Knight is down. Little Sis. He'll go. And Last Dance DF is slain. Oh, but Boxes is actually exhausted.
The tower so damage from the tower. Boss has almost picked up onto Boxes there. Last Dance DF not having a good time. The fan club is not carrying him hard enough. He's just getting camped by this Nocturne. This Nocturne is looking for the onto ball with that ultimate. Meanwhile, Crack definitely focused more on the top side of the map. So we see a little bit of a split here. We see bot side with that Aphelios. We know he will scale, so could see some potential Aphelios gaming going on later once he does pick up his core items.
And we have seen in the past Protect the Aphelios compositions not go very well. So we do see that Last Dance CS is 0-2 right now, up in CS, but he is able to get back to the wave again. Blue buff goes over to stop OTP. Okay. I got scared for a sec that it might reset, but we have seen in the past Protect the Aphelios compositions not go so well, and where they fault was the fact that the Aphelios was shut down so hard in lane that the rest of his team they didn't have anything to protect because there was no damage output to the team. Now, hopefully, with something like a Syndra or Viego, there will be enough to actually just have enough damage output to win a team fight. But we are seeing that Anime Boys 2021 are putting their efforts towards shutting down right now. So commend to them.
Yeah, for sure. I think what's different between Last Dance Fan Club's comp and previous Protective Aphelios comps we've seen is that we've seen those Protective don't have like a Galio mid, a little bit fight here.
Here comes the slicing Maelstrom, actually. You don't need to protect the Aphelios to kill the Viego here. If you see a little sis, this is what he wants to do. He wants to be able to roam. Here comes Boxes. It's 3 versus 1. The Paranoid is down, and Anime Girl is gone.
Well, looks like Anime Boys 2020 getting some revenge for Kirito in the top lane. Send the jungler support up there just to make sure that Anime Girl is dead for sure.
Fine, baby, with the flash. Back is going to not be able to pull in either. Is the hook going to connect?
Able to flash net as that Caitlyn. Power platings, but as long as you are alive, it's all good.
Yeah, and important to know, they did Last Dance DF Fan Club the Herald early. It felt sort of like it was domination. That's I never thought I'd say. But anime boys have been performing exceptionally well. But if you look at the gold, it's actually over towards the side of Last Dance fan club, and that's because they've been able to get the CS leads. If you look at the mid lane, it's essentially been a dead man's land for the entire game. But there is nearly a 20 CS gold lead over the side of Stop OTP2. So these gold leads they've been mitigated from the side of Last Dance DF fan club throughout macro. Like we've seen Krakadon getting essentially every lane on the map, but he is even in CS with boxes right now, and no discredit to boxes. He is going to be here to get Anime Girl 2007, and that's a wrap.
Yeah, for sure. I think losing that ball tower, especially while Turk playing a still up, definitely not gold lead, but Lil Sis runs into Last Dance DF here. He has the Graviton.
Oh boy. Okay. All good from last username. Got a little tense there.
Ooh, Zoe bubble does land on Syndra, but Syndra QE just stopped Zoe from proccing that with her Q with her Paddle Star there.
Oh no, I'm baby Piltover versus Zon here. It's not looking good for the police officer. That's a big amorphous combat animal. I guess more of a blob. Crocodile. I maybe might be putting a part of a fight here, but no, it's just a matter of time.
There is Take Zach on the map, albeit he does have a Dark Steel and Lucidity boots, 1v1ing an ADC. Just out damaging the ADC straight up. That is just unfortunate. That is what it's like to play ADC currently in this meta. We have a little top Last Dance and Blossoms top lane now, trying to collect support. Pelosis is here with Kurito and boxes to try to stop them from getting any more plate. So I think Last Dance DF fan club, their comp definitely has more damage than that Ophelio. So with that Fed Zach, with the Viego getting a lot of support, the jungler and Syndra able to just kind of hold her own in the mid lane, they are able to offer more ways to kind of win this game, have more win conditions than just.
Exactly, and I think you mentioned the fact that, well, Aphelios, he wasn't really put down by the laning phase. There obviously are more damage sources, and I'm baby with the help of the paranoia might actually be able to. It goes over the wall, but boxes is there comes the sniper shot, and it's a killing spree for the Nocturne. But oh boy, we see a counter map here, slicing Maelstrom pop down a bit early, not going to be able to actually. He does complete the stun, the hook flash.
Oh, land. Kennen is too fast. He's a speedy little lightning ninja. So Kennen able to just run away with that ability, very speedy. But Last Dance and Blossoms actually are able to pick up this top lane tower. Turret lane's fallen about 30 seconds, so they're lost a bit of the top lane tower here.
So here, Helios picks up his second turret of the game, and I really like that Last Dance fan club realized the fact that if Little Sis is going to be roaming the entire game, if you can open up that bot, it doesn't matter if you send a Rakan up to the top lane. We're just going to send the loop as well, and he's going to be able to get his ultimate off on everybody. Moonlight Vigil, extremely explosive around those early skirmishes. We are 14 minutes in here, so he's going to have some fighting power. The myth it does come out as well. So sustain and he's going to be all over the map. We've seen him in mid, we've seen him in top, rotating around. Now he's going to set his sights toward the mid tier one, and that point, the map is just completely open.
For sure. If we get a chance to look at the individual gold graphs, please, that would be amazing. I want to see how much gold Aphelios has versus that Caitlyn. Even though Aphelios is 0-2 and he has those 3 assists, Aphelios has been going around the map, getting all that plate and getting these turrets around the map. Both on the blue side have been taken by Aphelios. So he is over 1,000 gold up on this Caitlyn. So he is definitely in a stronger place than this Caitlyn, even though he maybe hasn't been dying as much and she's been trying to get that solo XP bot. But it just is not making up for that gold there.
Yeah, Elias username has been sticking around in the mid lane with Ignite. They don't have a lot of roam potential on the Zoe. Little Sis might be caught out here. Flay doesn't actually bring you over the wall. So essentially, better for wear right now. So it's what's been happening with Elias Warriors or Elias username. I saw the name Warriors for a second. Elias username. They haven't been able to roam right now because the mid tier one is still open. You can't actually roam if you're just going to get popped. Here comes the huge ultimate. The paranoia goes and stay Stop OTP Noob is down, but the rest of the fight is continuing on. Kirito might be caught out. Pretty sure slicing maelstrom not available. The flash won't save you. Wait, oh my gosh, I thought
That was very close. That was very close. Oh my gosh,
Okay.
Boxes is on the wrong side of the map here. Yo, he is running for the hills. Will he be able to get you off, I wonder? He does! He does! Crocodile just not there in time. Oh my gosh, he slowed himself as fast as he could. But it just was not fast enough. So Box is able to deny that shutdown, at least for now. Oh, he is able to hold on to that money for a little bit longer. Anime Boys 2021 has 2 dragons.
Oh boy, little sis. No, you're just gonna be dead. Oh boy. Okay. So I feel like the problem with that last fight we saw was the fact that it felt pretty disjointed. The paranoia to stop OTPU, but the rest of the team was forced to attack opponents like Krakadoon and Blossom. So Boxes is the most powerful. And you mentioned he has a shutdown. He's 4-1 and 2. He was 4-2 before the execute, of course. But if he falls, then that's essentially a lot of your fighting power given over in the form of shutdown gold that is going to snowball further from the side of Last Dance fan club. So they need Anime Boys 2021 need Boxes and everybody to unify on a certain target, the one they want to get rid of most. And it's pretty difficult because there's a lot of star-studded KDAs we're seeing here from the side of Last Dance fan club. So pick on person.
Yeah, for sure. It is definitely hard to be playing these fights as red side here because they don't really have front line that blue side has, with that Zac, with that Thresh. So Rakan and Kennen and Nocturne are not exactly proper fights. So it's really hard to tank up a lot of that Aphelios damage, a lot of Syndra damage, and onto that Syndra and essentially that Viego is just such a strong fighter that it is hard to kind of shut him down there.
Yeah, and I especially like the macro we're coming out from Last Dance DF fan club. We saw in the bot side, rather than letting a wave crash stop OTP do, made sure to put it in just a particular point where none of it would touch the tower, forces Elias username to down all the way to bot side. And then on the top, we saw Anime Girl 2007 roam up top and keep the wave, forcing Kirito up there while he is at the towers. Now, it did enable Anime Girl to come back down mid, and now the tier one's open, the whole map gone, and this is the consequence. We're seeing Boxes just fall right back, and Elias username is going to be able to run away. Zoe is a slippery champion, but not as slippery as Zap. Oh boy! All right. So we do see a tower falling as well. Anime Girl does get the bubble trouble down, but it's not going to be long lived here.
No Zoe ult available to Viego. So that definitely cuts out a little bit of Viego as that Zoe portal super important for setting up those super long range queues, but a little bit engage here from Man 2007.
And little sis will be caught out here. And we see the cross map right now coming from the side. He's forced to teleport in as the dragon starts, but he could have just stayed there. But either way, it's going to be a lose-lose situation. You stay, and you're going to lose the fight at dragon. You don't, or you you leave, and that means you're going to be losing around top, and you won't be able to push that final wave in. So, Anime Boys in a tense situation here.
Quiet is available to the Nocturne. So we back from
paranoia, but the triple gravity is going to slow it down. Little sis immediately the maelstrom is going to land on more people. It's just rending through Last Dance fan club, but it is not going to be enough. Not a single kill has gone over. It's a triple for Anime Girl 2007. A quadra, in fact, would be going for the tens of the Infernal Dragon just seems like a last reward here. A cherry on top right now.
Anime
going for it.
Here on the cave. Little peanut pellets are being shot at the Nocturne.
Noxus is actually going in. He does get the channel. He gets it. He goes for it. Does the flash over the bird? Oh no! A little
Nocturne able to shut down the penta. So Box is going to deny that, but Box is able to deny the fair. And now that Last Dance fan club is looking to grab here.
All right, if you're Anime Girl 2007, you're pretty sad about that. But rest of his team, you realize that Stall is long enough for this Baron to essentially be free. Paranoid and not an option. They have vision on that side of the map, anyways. It has just been complete last pushing all throughout the map. All three waves are constantly pushing in, and it enables stuff like this, a free Baron over to the side of the fans.
For sure. No, Ophelia has 7 assists, but no, it doesn't matter because the rest of his team is doing their job. He actually did play a very vital role in that team fight for his team. The ult into the grab ult into the roots is able to kind of slow down the engage, like as you said during the fight. So now we see Anime Boys 2021 trying to push in that wave and brace themselves for minions that they know are about to come knocking at their door.
And exactly, the fact that Anime Boys are slowed down, they want to engage with their comp. But how do you engage onto this team? There's so much counter coming at you. There's so much peel. Kirito, I'm sorry, buddy, but you're not long for this. Slicing Maelstrom is going to get a decent chunk, but you are still seeing in black and white, my friend.
I saw him try to, sidestep the Cindric QE and sidestep the Zac, but it just wasn't enough. He's just too squishy as a little cannon in the middle of the conflict. But Box is coming in here on Syndra.
All right, the janitor cleanup crew can boxes look for anything more.
And Crashdown's a little too tanky with that Frostfire Gauntlet with Spirit Visage. A little bit too tanky. Last year, I'm trying to grab this mid turret here.
And it feels just like a lose wherever Boxes decides to go. He is most of the firepower on his team right now. I'm Baby just chunked out from the Infernum hits.
Not even onto I Am Baby directly, just from the turret. The turret is turned on friendly fire here onto I Am Baby.
Exactly. And like Last Dance DF fan club realized they don't have to have these crazy counter answers to Boxes to try and shut him down. They realize he's isolated in the top part of the map. I'm Baby caught out here, but actually still lives. No ice poke too soon. Little Sis gonna dash away, but here comes the Zac. It's a double kill already to Last Dance DF, and this game is not long for this world. Kirito walks back in humbly into his lane, but the sights turn on him. Actually, they just go back down to the inhibitors, and it's like we mentioned earlier, there's just not very much Anime Boys can do. They can't be able to engage on this. Boxes, the last hope of the team here against 4 mighty members, 4 mighty fans.
4 mighty fans and their leader, Last Dance DF, leading the charge here. Do so much damage to those towers. Kirito trying to
Rift. All of these Nexus turrets are not logged for this world shortly, and I think that is a very solid game from the fans. They will be moving on to our finals.
That was very well played by the side of Last Dance DF fan club. Definitely able to bring that back from the early game with the early game ganks from the Nocturne. Definitely did shut down Aphelios from carrying that game as hard as he could have. But it did open up a little bit more of an opportunity for Viego and for Syndra and Zac to be able to pick up those kills and lead the fan club to victory here.
Yeah, the fans were just able to play the map better. They could go anywhere they wanted, wherever a play was being made from the side of the Anime Boys. They would make a play that was more solid, more gold funneled into those key carries that would lead them to victory. And then eventually, you just couldn't engage on those guys. They were just too powerful. So great work from the fan club. I think we might have to shorten the name. It is just so long. Unless
call them We'll be right back after our short message from our sponsor delivery.